Just when I thought I managed to throw her off balance, Elizabeth-san gets back up elegantly as if nothing had just happened. Suddenly, I feel an intensity build up in the air. Don't tell me she hadn't been taking this seriously at all up until now. In the next moment, I'm swallowed into a torrent of power like a leaf being blown into the air without the slightest understanding of what's happening. My vision blurs as I'm spun about, and before I can tell up from down, the floor jumps towards me and I'm slammed into the ground. Am I going to lose? As my consciousness fades, I see the faces of my friends and Aigis-san, all those I had fought against up until now. It's like that story that you see your life flash before your eyes just before you die. Am I dying? Can I really accept that? I'll fight as much as I have to save my friends. I have to keep fighting. I've come so far, I can't lose heart now. I desperately force my legs to move and manage to stand up again. Elizabeth-san shuts her book with an air of finality.
I see. I am quite content with this outcome. It seems you possess true strength.
The unyielding torrent of power suddenly ceases without warning. Is it over? Even as I come to understand that, I continue to stand stock still, unable to move.
I believed you were at the limits of your stamina after the battle against Aigis earlier. In actuality, your heart almost gave in during your struggle with me. But each time you faltered, the many hearts supporting you gave you strength, helping you to rise again.
Anime friendship power nonsense, as usual. She cuts herself off and nods to herself as if to confirm some suspicion.
This was truly an intriguing battle. I believe our encounter has borne much flute.
Fruit?
Flute?
Flue? Chimneys.
Chimney? What? This is not funny nor endearing.
In any case, I am quite pleased.
Even after a battle, she acts like that. I feel like a fool for believing that she really would have killed me, even if it felt quite real at the time. I can't believe any of this. My legs give out under me, and I sink to the ground. Maybe she understands how I feel. Elizabeth-san looks straight into my eyes.
May I ask you something? To continue fighting in order to prevent an undesirable future, it is a path of endless hardship. Would you still choose to walk it?
Margaret had said something similar just before this tournament had begun. How I had overcome the ordeal concerning last year's case and opened the door. Margaret's and Elizabeth-san's words come together in my mind.
Yeah. Working for a better tomorrow isn't just a one-time thing. The tomorrows keep coming.
Opening the door is necessary, but it's not what's truly important. Oh, don't mention that to Kingdom Hearts. What's more important is making sure that you follow the path that's beyond the door. Only once you have that path in mind does it matter whether you've opened the door or not. You will be the one to open the door. That's how I feel.
I would keep fighting for the future we want.
Elizabeth-san smiles. It seems the former dweller of the Velvet Room is pleased with my answer. She must have chosen a path of her own at some point and is doing everything in her power to see it through. Yo, is Aigis dead? Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, or maybe my Aigis is just out of batteries. But I feel as if I'm able to understand her a little better now.
Well, it's time for me to bid you adieu. By your leave, I, Elizabeth, am out of here.
With this, Elizabeth briskly walks out of the room. She caused me some trouble, but I've also learned something about myself as well. I think I'll call it a draw. Call it a draw? Call it a draw. As I wave goodbye to Elizabeth, I hear Aigis-san getting to her feet behind me. Hey, Aigis, you had a nice little nap?
Are you alright? You shouldn't force yourself to move.
I was concerned at first, but Aigis-san doesn't seem to be very hurt, or damaged, or whatever you would say. She was likely just knocked out. Can robots be knocked out? I had absolutely no chance of winning if I'd gone easy on her either. This is getting ridiculous.
You are very kind. We've only just met, and yet you are worried about a machine like myself.
Huh? Isn't that normal?
Aigis has little mini turrets on her headband now. Has she always had that? Aigis-san laughs at my confusion.
Seeing you smile like that? I don't know. I just can't think of you as a machine. You have a heart, right? Then it doesn't matter whether you're man or machine.
Aigis-san stops laughing and thinks deeply for a moment. But after a few seconds, she looks back up at me with a serious look in her eyes.
You have defeated me in single combat. That will make it difficult for me to continue forward. But I believe I can trust you. Will you listen to my mission directive?
I ain't got time for all that. I have no reason to say no, other than being in a bit of a time crunch. I look Aigis-san square in the eye and nod reassuringly. And so Aigis-san told me about her directive, and it was truly surprising. There was another case involving personas and shadows outside of Inaba, even before our adventure last year. And she is a weapon with a heart created with the express purpose of wielding a persona to fight the shadows. She believes that this current situation came to be because someone had stolen a similar weapon and caused it to enter the TV world.
So, there's another girl robot with a heart like you? And she's the cause of all this?
Yeah, that would be Labris. So Labris is a robot like Aigis, same model or whatever. Not the same model, but the same idea. And probably there were a bunch of Labris Aigis robot chicks. And Labris was forced to kill all the other ones who she saw as friends or like sisters or whatever, fellow robots. And now she's going insane. I'm pretty sure I already figured out the entire plot of this game. Nice, let's go.
We came to this world to retrieve her. My older sister, the 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris, is in this world somewhere.
Nailed it. Nanako, Miss President, her shadow, and now Labris. Really? You're not gonna... Dude. I hate how stupid characters in Persona are. I really hate how dumb they are sometimes. I have a mountain of tasks to accomplish now. But even though I have a lot to do, I can't ignore any of it.
Tell me more about Labris, and I'll do what I can to help you get her back.
She thinks she's student council president and has silver hair. Usually in a ponytail, runs real fast.
Unfortunately.
Aigis-san's expression clouds. Oh, you probably never met Labris before in your life, huh? She said that she was a machine, but she really is no different from a human. Well, you know, other than the metal and, like, gears and stuff. As I ponder this, I listen to what she has to say. It's discouraging.
So you don't know what she looks like, what she can do, or what equipment she's loaded with.
But you know she's a robot girl. Basically, all she can tell me is that Labris is a robot who's built to look like a girl. Wait a second. I did meet a girl I didn't know in the TV world. Miss President, finally! Oh my word, 2 brain cells have, like, rubbed together to make a spark. Could Miss President be Labris?
Is there a possibility that she looks, well, more human than you? You mentioned earlier that she was your older sister, so I assume she was built before you, but...
My sister was an older model, a prototype for the 5th generation to be exact. It's doubtful that she would look more human than myself.
She totally does, though, because in the opening sequence, they show Miss President on screen with the name Labris flashing across it. What an absolute anime opening spoils the arc moment. There's no way Miss President could be Labris. Oh, no. No way. It's not like the game already told me at the start. I could tell at first glance that Aigis-san was a machine. Miss President appears to be completely human, except she's not. I never once considered that she might not be human until just now. But that just makes things even more complicated. What in the world is going on inside this TV?
Alright, in any case, I'll keep an eye out for her. But right now, I'm heading to the announcement room. If Labris is the cause of this, then I'm bound to meet up with her eventually.
I shrug slightly. Okay. I don't want to be so grave. Aigis-san must sense that I'm trying to do and smile.
Thank you. I will trust my sister's fate to you.
I'm gonna kill her. Of course. I give Aigis-san a determined nod and run out of the classroom. Hey, Aigis, you're not gonna tell me about any of your other Persona friends that are probably here too? You're not gonna bring them up? Okay. The hallway, my favorite location. But man, what a busy Golden Week. Yep, this is... Okay. I have to make sure Nanako's okay, find Miss President, unmask whoever's masquerading as Teddy, and now search for Labris somewhere in here. Everything, all 4 of these things coincide at just getting to the announcement room. Labris is Miss President. You find her, that's 2 done. The machine is Labris's shadow. Get that fixed all at once. And then apparently Nanako's there. If this wasn't happening, I'd be kicking it with my friends at the Junes food court. Yukiko was trying to be coy, but I'm pretty sure that big bundle she was carrying was a boxed lunch she'd made for us. As to how it might taste, well, let's not get sidetracked. I'm sure we'd all have enjoyed it anyway. You probably would have died. Eventually, I would have called Nanako over, and we would have bought some snacks together. There were things I wanted to buy from the Shiroku store, and maybe I could... Is this really necessary? Maybe I could have made it to Sozai Daigaku in time to buy the last of their special croquettes. I wanted to talk with the owner of Daidara and get some books from the Yamanito bookstore. Hey, guys! Look at all these areas that are in Persona 4 that we can bring up out of nowhere for no reason. Look at them. You remember the steak bowl in Persona 4? You remember the fox? You remember the fox? You guys remember the fox. I'd have had a steak bowl at Aya, hung out with the fox at the shrine, waited for my uncle so we could have dinner, and tomorrow I'd have gone fishing. If the one who ruined my vacation and caused all these problems is the same person who stole Labris, and if they've truly brought Nanako back into the TV world, dude, oh my goodness, how much longer do I have to stream? 30 more minutes? You can tell that I'm, like, I've been reading so much that I'm starting to slur my words. Like, it's, ugh. I'll never let them go for that. Kill Labris.
Make them pay.
Yeah, kill Labris. Get her. As I run on, I come across yet another blue door. Perhaps it's a sign that I need to calm down. True, I may have lost my cool for a moment.
Here? Again?
I reach towards the door with a relaxed smile. Margaret is in her usual position. I glance around to see if there's anyone else in here. It looks like her nutcase of a sister isn't here. Margaret notices me looking and sighs, a seductive sound that also conveys annoyance. Who... If they make a Persona 5 Arena, I hope and pray that it's not written by the same person who did this one.
It seems my sister has caused you some trouble, though this may mean that I'm not the only one who is drawn to the light of your potential.
There's a hint of tenderness towards her sister in her words. Her sister must be important to her. I can tell from the look on her face. Do I look like that when I talk about Nanako? Margaret pulls herself together and speaks again.
You have gained new resolve by overcoming many doubts and falsehoods.
A new resolve. I find myself nodding along.
You have reached the threshold of truth. But man's hearts are mutable. That is why a resolve to continue fighting is more important than any one victory or defeat.
Yeah, I understand.
But this will be a difficult battle without end. Are you equal to the challenge?
The way she puts it makes it seem as if she was testing me. I don't respond immediately and think about the question. It would be lying to say that I'm not worried. I know that my heart can be swayed by change. There's no knowing what will happen from moment to moment. But even then...
If I have my friends, if I'm not alone, I can do it.
I see.
Margaret nods slightly in response.
I have heard your answer, but it's not enough.
You don't need to have text saying that she nods slightly. If she says, I see, it's just implied. Like, it's irrelevant.
Remember what I told you before? The heart is shaken more by a single action than by 1,000 words.
I'm about to start not reading out text that I deem 1,000% unnecessary. It's getting ridiculous. As she smiles, my vision begins to blur. I hear words being repeated. I have reached the threshold of truth. Everything that's happened during the course of this case runs through my mind. Oh, are we actually near the end of Narukami's story? Oh, maybe we'll actually be able to finish it before stream ends. The new appearance of the TV world, this tournament pitting us against each other, the student council president, and a fake Teddy. My encounter with a weapon with a heart, Aigis-san searching for her sister, Labris, and the determination that I've gained through these constant battles. What I must accomplish? How do I show that what I've decided through my actions? Back in the hallway. Seems that the number of invisible walls is decreased. Could this mean that the end is near? Just as I think that, I hear a familiar voice.
That's enough!
That was Miss President. It was coming from the door to the announcement room. I finally made it. Oh, maybe we are at the end of this. Let's go. I really hope that the other characters' storylines, whatever they are not as bloated. I open the door to the announcement room and rush inside.
You're finally here! Hello, Sensei! Congratulations! How does it feel to have won the P-1 Grand Prix?
Wait, no! I didn't get to see Mitsuru! The general smirks at me as I pass through the door. Behind him, Miss President and Rize. When the two of them see me, Miss President looks confused, while Rize's face lights up with joy.
There you are, Senpai! You're late!
I have to stay cautious of the general, but I signal to the girls that everything will be alright now. The general is closer to them than I am. I can't afford to make any reckless moves just yet. Just shoot him with a lightning bolt, dude. And there's one more thing I need to know.
Teddy, where's Nanako?
I look around the announcement room, but Nanako's nowhere to be found. She's probably just, like, not even here. You were lied to, dude. The general's face distorts with an ugly glee.
Nana-chan's right here. See?
Slowly, the general extends the arm that was held behind him. And there was Nanako. What, he's holding her in his hand? What? Her arms are clutched to her chest, and she slowly takes a few steps towards me, obviously frightened.
Nanako!
After taking a step forward, I noticed something bizarre. The general disappeared. For a brief instant, my full attention had been focused on Nanako. The general had been standing directly behind her, but now he's gone. How could he have gone somewhere else that quickly, right in front of me, without me noticing it?
Big bro.
While I'm confused about the general's disappearance, Nanako wearily calls to me. Is Labrys's shadow just, like, switching between faking forms? Being in the TV world has obviously taken a toll on her. She totters towards me unsteadily, looking ready to collapse at any moment. I can think about the general later. I have to save Nanako right now. As I reach out to her, Rize yells.
Senpai, no! Nanako-chan's not there!
Nanako's not here. What is she saying? She's right here, you dumb idiot. Just as I'm about to say so, my hand stops. Something's not right. I try to look into Nanako's face once more. And in her eyes, I saw madness.
Oh, so close! Just a little more and Sensei would have been a goner!
You bastard!
Language. I'd barely reached in time to draw my sword and block the attack. The general suddenly appeared out of nowhere to attack me with his cane, and I got a good look at him as our weapons clashed together. I see the madness in his face, the same madness that I had seen in Nanako's only a moment before. That's when I noticed that Nanako has disappeared. What's going on?
You've got it wrong, Senpai. It's all been him from the beginning. He can make whoever's looking at him see him as someone else.
So he's not actually taking on other forms?
No, he's just distorting the things you see and hear.
Genjutsu! That's right, the enemy is able to control what I see and hear. I'd realized that after all the battles I'd had today, but seeing Nanako had made me forget all that. Okay, maybe he does have a sister complex. The general laughs at this.
It's hard for me to show someone who isn't here. But you actually saw this Nanako girl? You're hopeless.
It's why do you have the line of text that says Teddy laughed, and then immediately after, the voice actor actually laughs? You don't have to tell me that he laughed if you're gonna do the laughing. Just like how my friends hadn't actually gone crazy before our fights, Nanako had never been brought into this world in the first place. The appearance before me is a fake. He distorted our senses all to make us suffer. But just as I'd thought, he couldn't deceive Rize's persona abilities. That's why he kidnapped her, to keep her from warning us during his tournament. Now that I know that, I push the general's cane away and jump back towards the girls in order to distance myself from them. Good, now I'm between them and the general. I then look straight at the one behind this bizarre situation.
Who in the world are you?
You still can't tell? Seriously, the level of intelligence around here.
I know, right? I've been complaining about it in 3, 4, and 5.
Fine then. Here. Get a good look.